Let's go. Question number 1. How do I truly know if God is in my life? What a great question. And I think because we battle against sin, we ask some version of that question every day, don't we? How do I truly know that what I'm doing is of God? How do I know that God is with me in my life? I guess to start to think about that question, it's the most intimate question to ourselves that we could ask. That is a matter of the heart, as our mind speaks to us and our soul speaks to us, but it's just a matter of how do I know that God is in my life? I might answer or start at an answer like this. Am I increasing in my capacity to love? Am I growing in my capacity to love God, to love myself as broken as I am, to love my neighbor? If I genuinely feel, and we should know this, we should be able to feel this, that I'm truly able to increase in my capacity to love, then God is behind that. In the letters of John, back in the New Testament, it just puts it rather intimately to say God is love, and not some fake version of it, or just some passing whimsy of the heart, but a very genuine, deep love and compassion. If we have that, then I think we know that God is with us. There are some other guides. One would be this book, Scripture. When I find myself studying Scripture and when I have its virtues speak to me, do I find that those are within me or do I not? And, when I read the Proverbs talk about, or if I read Paul, maybe that's a better example, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, mercy, self-control. Which one of those do you think I struggle with the most? Any guesses? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, mercy, self-control. Any guess? Oh, thank you very much. I love you too. But those are sort of when Paul throws those out there, those are things to kind of compare ourselves to. Is to say, love, joy. Some of you have a scowl every time you walk out of this room. What's up with that? Joy, take it on. Peace, patience. Boy, there's one. Isn't there? Patience. Patience. We did a wedding here yesterday afternoon. And 1 Corinthians 13 is commonly chosen. And one of the phrases in that is, love bears all things. Love endures all things. In our culture where we want instant everything, and let's face it, we by and large have it, right? Enduring, patience. Patience is something I think we could all just cultivate in a much deeper way. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, mercy, self-control. It's self-control that I struggle with the most. When somebody says something to me, I instantly want to tell them exactly what I think. I have found that's not a good move. Especially with your spouse. Andy, you ought to think about, well, let me tell you what you ought to think about. That doesn't go real well, does it? So these are ways that we know that God is with us. I guess the final way I would answer the question, Scripture, is just the importance of the church. What do other people think about my life? Who are those other people that I can talk to that I know God is with me? And I just got to tell you, if you don't have those folks, you need them. That's why I push so hard. Sunday school classes and small groups, and Deborah and I are in one, and a small group, and meets every Monday night. And it's actually, there's 3 or 4 churches that are represented in this group. It's just not First Methodist folks. And I have to tell you, it's wonderful. These folks encourage me, they pray for me. They also call me on it, and they say, Andy, I think you are just faking that as far as, they call me on it. They hold me to account. And what's funny to me is the Methodist Church, the Methodist movement, John Wesley, our founder, we started that way. We were a group of small groups that met together, 1, 2, 3, 4, half a dozen people, and they asked each other questions like, what is the state of your soul? And I think what was behind that was this desire to have God with us. And so to me, if you can look in your heart, if you can look in Scripture, if you look at what those close around you say, then I think you get some confidence that God is truly with you. I guess here's the backside of that question, though. Even when we think that God isn't part of our life, He is. And so the great gift that Jesus is even when we don't see Him, even when we feel far away, He's still there. So I think with that, bring that question to a close.